we have fire. To the coal. I think you try and make your own activated charcoal. That it's quite involved. Usually the general rule is if you're going to use non-activated charcoal, you just need to use more. For instance, one thing that activated charcoal is used, or charcoal rather, activated or non-activated, is used in cases of food poisoning, for instance. And if you use activated charcoal, you don't need to use as much. You don't have to ingest as much. Non-activated will work just as well. You just have to use a little bit more. So what I've done, the porosity of the charcoal is very important in that it binds to toxins. It binds to them and captures and holds on to them. It won't remove toxins that are in your bloodstream. It'll remove toxins that are in your digestive tract, for instance. So say you ate, you get food poisoning, you're in the bush, you ate some bad meat, and best way to treat that is, if you get on it right away, is to ingest charcoal, a teaspoon, chase it down with a lot of water, and then another 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, chase it with another teaspoon, and you may have to use several teaspoons, but what it's going to do is it's going to go through into your stomach and your digestive tract, and it's going to capture those toxins, and it's going to hold on to those toxins until they can pass through your body. So it's good for cases of that. Hospitals use it for certain drug overdoses, things of that nature. It can be used on infected wounds to help draw the poison out of wounds. You mix it with water, put it on as a paste. Snake bites, insect stings. It'll even purify water. It'll remove VOCs from water, volatile organic compounds. Pesticides, herbicides, for instance, are VOCs. Radon, trihalomethanes, things of that nature. So I'm going to show you guys how to make charcoal in the bush. You also need charcoal in order to make pine pitch glue, and I'm going to make a video on how to do that. Pine pitch glue is, the charcoal acts as a bonding agent to the glue. It makes the glue flexible, so if you're using it for a flexible application, for instance, say you're gluing some rawhide soles onto a pair of primitive moccasins that you've made, obviously you would want it flexible because your foot's going to bend. The sole's going to bend, and so I'll be doing a video on how to do that down the road. But it has a multitude of uses. You can use it to mask your scent before you go hunting. It's very absorbent. Trap parts, if you construct a trap, and you're going to have your scent all over it. A lot of people don't realize that. Animals will smell that. The smell of smoke doesn't alarm animals. They're very used to that, being in the woods. But you rub the charcoal on your trap parts and on your hands, and then go set your trap, and that's going to mask your scent. So with that said, the best charcoal, since we're not using activated charcoal, and all activated charcoal is, it goes through a process that increases its porosity, so it just has more absorbing capability. But primitive charcoal will work just as well. And so I got a turkey vulture back here. You guys can probably hear that on the camera. I'm out here in the beautiful woods. I love this up here. Okay, so what I did, the best primitive charcoal is the porous woods, the light porous woods. This is pine, and I've busted it up, and I'm placing it in a tin here. In the tin I have a hole in the lid so it'll vent. I'm just going to put this on loosely so I can get the lid off afterwards. They tend to, the heat makes the lid stick. And then while this is cooking down here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stuff this up inside the fire here. I'm going to get the fire on top of this. I want to cover the sides. We're going to keep an eye on that hole there, because the hole is going to start to emit a white vapor. And what that is, that's water vapor. It's VOCs that make up that wood. And this process is known as pyrolysis. What we're doing is we're cooking the organic material, either animal or vegetable material. You can make charcoal out of bones as well. And we're cooking it down, removing the impurities through a process known as pyrolysis, and reducing it down to its basic carbon component. It makes an outstanding fire starter. It'll take a spark from a fire steel. If you're in a situation where the tinder's damp or the wood's damp and you need a little extra help getting that fire going, charcoal works great as a coal extender. It'll readily take a spark. You can do this with punk wood as well, and I'm going to do another video showing how to do it primitively if you don't have a tin, how to make charcoal in the ground using the earth. It's called the mound method. I'll check my battery here. Okay, we're looking good. So basically, see, this is already starting, it's already starting to smoke a little bit, but as this heats up, smoke will come out of here. It's a vapor. That's all the VOCs and water vapor, and then this is probably going to start burning, because that's the VOCs are volatile. Hence the term volatile organic compound. So there'll probably be a little flame, like a candle flame, coming out of that hole there. And you know you're done when the vapor stops coming out of the hole, when the flame goes out, or if the flame goes out. Then we pull the tin out, set it over to the side, and the trick is, if you open it too soon, the charcoal is going to be exposed to the oxygen, and it's going to turn to ash, and it will no longer be charcoal. It won't be pyrolyzed. So if we pull it out, let it sit off to the side and wait until it's cool. Some people say you got to let it sit overnight. That's nonsense. You just wait until it's cool to the touch, you pop the lid, and you have yourself charcoal. So we're going to go ahead and it'll take probably, it doesn't take too long, 20-30 minutes maybe. Right now it's still heating up in there. I just processed the wood and everything with the CFK39 Trail Boss II from CFK Cutlery Company. You can find these on Amazon for about $80 a piece with free shipping. I just shot a review for those folks, and I'll put a link in the description box below to their website, customforgedknives.com. I did a great review on this. Very impressed with this. Extremely impressed with this knife. So if anybody's looking for a good knife, I highly recommend stopping by and checking out what those folks have to offer. Okay, we're getting gases coming out of the hole now. You can probably see that right here. There it goes. It's starting to off gas. There it goes. So we have the process of pyrolysis taking place. There it goes. You can see it coming right out of the center there. It's going to get more intense as we go here. Burping it right out of the hole. You don't have to have a real super big roaring fire in order to pull this off, but you do want the fire to be decently hot. In other words, you don't need a bonfire. It's a pretty simple process. Pretty decent bed of coals in there. Trying to get some wood on the outside here so the tin's more or less surrounded by the heat. That'll greatly, that'll provide more even cooking in there. I've cooked down charcoal to the point where the heat wasn't very even, and you would have part of it that was pyrolyzed and then part of it that was not. So there we go. We're doing pretty good there, right there in the coals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this video, and I'll cut back in here when we're just about done. Everybody stay tuned. Okay, I just wanted to cut back in. You can hear that. Hear that sound? Hopefully the camera's picking that up. That is the gases burning out of that hole right there. Sounds almost like a torch. A pretty good flame burning up out of that hole right now, burning those VOCs off. So pretty much when that noise ceases and there's no more white vapor coming out and there's no more flame out of that hole, when you move everything away and there's no flame burning, you know everything is pyrolyzed. Stay tuned, I shall return. Hey guys, just want to point it out here. See the flame coming out of the hole in the top of the tin? That's still off gassing. VOCs are still burning, so it's still cooking. It's been cooking for probably 15-20 minutes probably. So when that flame goes out and there's no longer vapor coming out, we should be good to go, and I'll scoop that out of there. So stay tuned. Yeah, looking at the flame here. Oh, it just went out. Flame just went out of the hole there. It was getting smaller and smaller, and it didn't have that blowtorch sound to it. I'm not seeing any more white fumes coming out of there. I'm going to leave it in just a little bit longer, just to be thorough. and I think we're pretty close. I'll fade back in as soon as I scoop that out of there and it's cold enough to open. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm a little winded. While I was waiting for the tin to cool, I pulled it out of there. There was some fallen pines about 50 yards away, and very old weathered pines, so I decided, I got out my saw and started collecting some fat wood. I mean, look at that. This is a holy grail piece. That's all fat wood. This thing weighs, I bet it weighs 10 pounds. I mean, it is absolutely solid. But that is beautiful. Beautiful grade A fat wood here. Huge piece. Smells so good. Okay, so our fire's burned down. As I said, I pulled this out of here about 30 minutes ago, I guess. I've been harvesting for about 30 minutes, harvesting the fat wood. And so here's the tin. It's cool to the touch. We open it up. That's why I don't put the lids on tight. I made that mistake a few times. You just have to set it on, you know, maybe push it down a 1/16 of an inch or whatever, but if you sink it on, it's really, after it's been in the heat, it's really hard to get off, take the lid off. And there's our charcoal. And that is pyrolyzed pine. This will readily take a spark. It's really lightweight now. It'll readily take a spark from a fire steel or even a flint and steel, and as soon as you hit it, it's going to start glowing just like a piece of char cloth. Char cloth, same thing. It's pyrolyzed cotton cloth. And you can pyrolyze other material, dandelion fluff. You can pyrolyze cattail down. It's different natural materials that are sustainable in a long-term situation. So just to recap, since this isn't activated, and it has been used for centuries for medicinal purposes, and you're not going to be able to activate it in the bush. So choose a softwood, because the softwoods are more porous, so it's going to produce a more porous charcoal, which is going to have a higher absorption capacity to absorb and retain toxins. Or even your scent off of trap parts or whatever. So pine is readily available. You can use cottonwood, aspen, basswood, willow. Any soft wood will do. So hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did making it for you. Please like, subscribe, and share. I hope all of you are having an outstanding day or night, depending on where you're located. And I will see all of you very soon on the next one. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.